Welcome back to the Racewalk Highlight Show. We're going to jump around to different meets and share the results with you, along with the many rankings updates included with them. We were sent an unexpected result from California, so that's in the mix too. And after each event, except for the PSAL meet, we have pics and/or videos to share of the action. Thanks to everyone for sending them. Lastly, we were lucky enough to have time to speak with Taylor Farrell, and that interview will follow the recap of the New York State Champs. Before we get into the race results, doing a little public service announcement on Saturday, March 23rd. There's a racewalk clinic from 8 to 11 a.m. at Williamsville South High School in New York. It's free, and the host is multiple-time Team USA coach Don Lawrence. If you're interested in attending, contact Don at the email address below in the description. For those who want to write it down, it's walk, the number 2, a goal. So walktoagoal@gmail.com. And thanks for Don for continuing to put on events like that in the upstate New York region. Starting off with the PSAL Frosh Soph City Championships at the Armory, which were on 3-3. They had two different races. In the freshman race, and both of these are girls, by the way, Lucia Fayek of Forest Hills won in 10:52:30. And in the sophomore race, we have Kaylin Chen of Cardozo in 9:16 even. Now, like we did with the preview, we covered the NAIA Racewalk Champs as the part of their Indoor National Championships, and we're also going to go over the results for that and how that applied to the team scores, because it was very important for the team scores in that. And it's also important for high school athletes to know that there is a place for them to go. And many of these are great track and field programs that offer you a lot of opportunity to continue to compete and have a wonderful student athlete experience. On the women's side, to no surprise, Heather Durant of Cumberland's won the 3,000 meter event in 13:23:29, which is a new championship record. She was followed by her teammate Alexa Governor, and that was in 14:29:91. Victoria Watley of Columbia College in South Carolina was third in 14:52:80. Over on the men's side, we have Dylan Melchiori of Cumberland's in 12:56:89. So Cumberland's took the number one spot on both the men's and the women's side, and have pretty much taken over collegiate race walking right now. Noah Church of Clark followed in 13:16:02, and then third was Cole Bennett of Cumberland's in 13:21:72. We'll put up the full results so everyone can see how deep and strong these races were and how competitive they were. Lots of great schools are looking for athletes and reach out to the coaches, find out, how you can be a part of their program. The race walks also had a big effect on the team scoring for both the men and the women. On the women's side, Central Methodist, which finished fifth, and Cumberland's, who finished ninth, they would have been 10th and 28th without the race walk points. Columbia of South Carolina and Southeastern were the other scorers for the women. For the men, Cumberland's in first would still have won the meet, but in a much closer fashion. It would only been about 19 points instead of almost doubling the second place team. All of the other men's teams that scored in the race walk earned all of their points in that event. So it's a great way for smaller schools and schools that are not scoring in the NAIA to find a way to pick up points and to raise their profile nationally. Now heading over to Virginia Beach for the AAU Nationals. As we thought, the Ambler OC pretty much took over everything there. Um, for the boys, Jack Clement won the mixed race in 1927-73, followed by Liam Ricketts of the Copperheads Track Club in 1950-69, and Lucas Foray of the High Level Track Club in 28-34-55. On the girls' side, we have Shaina Patel of Ambler in 15:45:06, which is now the U.S. #2 performance and a Pennsylvania high school record, breaking the 15:49:58 from Diana Rado in 2007. She was followed by her two teammates, Victoria Chu in 19:21:47 and Isabella Chu in 21:26:43. Also, big thanks to Shaina for supporting the channel and wearing her race walking as my superpower t-shirt on the AAU victory stand. You too can get your merch from the store link below. Now heading out west to the surprise meet. Now, normally we're aware of this meet. I don't know how I missed it, but thanks to Talia Green's mom for sending me the results of this. The Cal opener at UC Berkeley. Over 3,000 meters, Talia finished second overall to Olympian Robin Stevens. But her time of 13:49:13 is now the U.S. #1, is the California high school record, breaking the 15:45.6 from way back in 1975 by Rebecca Villavazzo, and is the all-time #2 performance during the indoor/winter season, just putting her ahead of Heather Durant from last year. Lastly, we're going to wrap this set of results up with essentially the best race of the indoor season so far was the New York State Championships at the Ocean Breeze Complex in Staten Island. Again, it's only a girls' race, and we're hoping that the boys will return soon. 1,500-meter event. They had two different heats, and then they combined all the scores into one. It was a tremendous race by pretty much every athlete. It was close to or setting a PR. We had 4 girls go under the magic 7-minute barrier. And the times recorded in this event are now on the performance lists at U.S. #1 for Taylor Farrell with her victory in 6:40:09, which was also a section record, a school record, and some other stuff too that we'll talk about. The U.S. #3 time was second placer Taylor Nugent, 6:53:57. Desi Dubois, 6:54:48 is U.S. #4. Samantha Benson Tyler followed in 6:59:51, and that's U.S. #6. In 7:11:54, we have Danielle Sciarello from Sachem, and that's U.S. #8. In 7:11:82, we have Rachel Lawson, and that's U.S. #9. And 7:17:94, we have Madison Tuttle as U.S. #10. Last but not least of the people who hit U.S. ranking performances at 7:40:02 was Jennifer Oliveros Valerio from New Rochelle, who's now the U.S. #23. Additionally, we saw all-time performances by Taylor Farrell at all-time number 12, 1/10 of a second behind Maria Mishta's best time. Taylor Nugent at all-time 34, Desi Dubois at all-time 35, and Samantha Benson Tyler at all-time number 54. So tremendous performance by everyone there. And we've got some highlight videos like we talked about earlier, so we'll roll into those.
Let's go. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise I ain't making that. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, yeah, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in. Okay.
Keep it up, Chloe. Keep it up. You're doing great, Chloe. Let's go. Let's go.
Now that we're done with the highlight videos, I'd like to wrap it up with a long-awaited interview with Taylor Farrell, who I hope enjoyed the parade in her hometown of Corning today, which was organized sort of at the last minute to celebrate her state title. So enjoy the time here with Taylor, learn a little bit about her, and afterwards, we hope to see and hear from you. If you've got any comments, leave them below, and have a great day. Okay, so we're pleased to welcome the newly crowned New York State champion, Taylor Farrell of Corning High School, to the program. Hi, Taylor. It's pleased to finally meet you, and congrats on your whole indoor season.
Thank you so much.
So, real simple, how does it feel to be the state champion?
Pretty unreal. I've been doing this for a couple of years, and I've never really gotten to this point. I've been able to podium at a couple of things, but I've never, been able to even consider being able to take state lead. It's kind of been like, oh, watch the older girls ahead of me, like Alexa Governor, and just kind of follow their lead type deal. So my coach and I were talking earlier this week, and he was like, yeah, I think you can really do it as long as, play it smart. And I was like, really? Like, you think I can do this? And, it was just about building confidence and really knowing that I can do it and just playing it smart and not trying to go out too fast. That really helped me achieve this for sure.
Yeah, and with the state meet, that's the big one. Is sometimes you'll get an athlete who will just blast out at the start, and it rarely works out well for them.
Yeah,
Either they have a judging issue, or the pressure of trying to perform on that stage and do it from the lead can be a problem.
for sure. Yeah.
And you've mentioned Alexa, so you've been friends with Alexa for a little while?
I didn't know her personally, but for the past couple of years, I've been at the same meets as her, and she's always kind of known what she's doing. So my other teammate and I have always kind of watched what she was doing, because obviously she's doing it collegiately right now. So definitely looked up to her for a while. But this year it was just us alone, so it's just kind of continuing that on and kind of see what we try to do.
Yeah, and she managed to transition well onto the college scene. You're aware of what she did the other day, right?
I saw the second place for the
Yeah,
3K. Yeah,
second
that was
place.
great.
As a freshman, that's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Um, so tell us, break down how the race went for you.
Yeah, so um, waiting before the race was very nerve-wracking. Just kind of watching the first heat go, I was, kind of getting into my head a little bit just because of the anticipation. But once I got out to the line, I kind of, did a couple of arm swings, just kind of shook myself out and kind of tuned everything else out. And once that gun went off, I was like, you got to get out quick. You got to get out with the front of the pack. And so what I tried to do for the first like 3 or 4 laps was just kind of stay with whoever was in front, and just kind of latch onto them, because I didn't want to go out as fast as I possibly could for the first couple laps because I knew, like you said, I would completely burn out or I would eventually, get a warning or something like that. So the strategy was to just kind of stick with the person in front, which was still very hard. It was definitely not easy at all.
Hmm.
And then coach told me that I only should kind of try to take the lead if I knew that I could stick in the lead. Um, and I kind of felt that. I think it was the fourth lap that I was like, okay, I think I can, keep this going, not get past. So I started to kind of branch off a little bit. And I didn't realize how much I was branching off until I watched the videos later. I could hear people cheering for the other people behind me. I was like, oh my God, they're right behind me. I got to keep going. So definitely was unaware of the gap that was happening. So I was definitely walking very scared for sure once I took that lead. And that kind of just took me to the end. So yeah.
So kind of when you finished, you turn around and there was no one there.
Yeah, no, I finished right behind me, but I held her off and then I was like, oh, okay. So there is no one behind me. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was
So that was a real good feeling, and then also kind of a surprise to know that you won by that much.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Just for people who may not know, and this is going to be sort of a composite video with other stuff that I'm doing to wrap up the weekend. Um, but your performance was truly outstanding. Not only is this a huge PR, it was like 14 or 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Um, you got a school record
Yep.
and a section record. And for those who are not in New York State, sections are kind of like counties. And I mean, in upstate New York, it's sometimes they're a little bit bigger than counties, but just give other people a sense. And something you may not be aware of is your time also is the number 12 all time in performance indoors. And
Wow.
you're just 0.1 second behind the Olympian Maria Mishtakoffi's best high school time.
Wow. That's very nice to hear for sure.
Yeah. So you're in some rare company there. It's that you're pretty close to the top of the mountain of all time in regard to the 1500 indoors. So congratulations on all that. Um, so tell us, what are your plans for the rest of the indoor season and then roll into the outdoor season too?
Yeah, so I'm going to be competing next weekend for New Balance Indoor Nationals. Just kind of try to keep the same mindset, same strategy for that next weekend. Hope to obviously medal. Outdoor for my section, we don't do race walk. They don't do race walk for outdoor seasons, so I kind of have to hit the pause on that, except for like one meet, I think. But kind of what we did last year was I kind of did a regular track season running, and then like a month and a half before outdoor nationals, we started to slowly bring training back in. Slowly started to reintroduce how it feels because it's obviously different muscles that are being used to kind of get ready for outdoor nationals. Because I do plan on competing for outdoor New Balances as well. But yeah,
Okay.
it'll be a normal score, unfortunately.
Okay. And then the big question, the one that I'm always trying to figure out is, have you made a college decision yet? Or is that still an open
Yeah,
process?
I haven't made one yet. Little I'm not looking into race walking, just because location where the schools are for me personally. So that kind of stings a bit, to not be able to continue on, what I wanted to be doing. But yeah, I just really didn't want to travel that far away. But I'm kind of looking right now, looking in the Northeast area, Boston area, or like upstate New York type deal.
Okay, and just something that you may be aware of is that there are a lot, if you are or are not competing on your college team, if you decide to go ahead and be part of an NCAA program there, there's a lot of club opportunities for you,
Yeah, yeah,
race walk wise, and there are some people you may be familiar with the Ryan brothers of New Jersey who are both at NCAA schools and have managed to continue race walking at a very high level
yeah, yeah, for sure.
once they graduated. So that option is available.
Yeah.
So do you have any, little things you want to pass on to the race walk fans as far as, how to get to the level where you are or any little tips or tricks that you want to share?
Um, I would say the biggest thing is not to kind of discredit yourself. People kind of look at race walking as kind of like this little petite little event that's just, you're walking. That's what I get a lot. How is it this hard type deal? But it's important just to learn to block those people out, and just kind of stay focused on your own path, because it's honestly just as important as running, and honestly harder. It's a lot more, it's obviously judged, a lot harder to use some different types of muscles. So it's important to realize not to compare yourself to the runners, just because they're doing something completely different. Race walk is definitely its own thing. So I just like to kind of ignore those kind of people and just focus on myself. And obviously you'll be able to get to where you need to be eventually if you kind of stay focused on yourself, focus on getting the right nutrition, sleep, uh, prioritizing certain things over others, which is hard for me to do, especially with my phone addiction. But as long as you have a goal, if you commit yourself to it, it's definitely achievable for sure.
Cool. Very, very important things for, athletes and teenagers in general to be aware of and, to be able to focus on regardless of whatever it is that they're doing. Um, I know you've got a busy day ahead of you. I just wanted to take the time to thank you for being here.
No problem.
This was all great stuff to hear. Thanks for joining us, and I hope we'll get to talk again real soon.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
All right.
Thanks very much. You have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.